want to show up and receive love in any man's life, we as women, we have to go back foundationally. And the reason why, because God created us as incubators, we incubate a lot. And a lot of times we have to go back to our daddylessness. We have to go back to our rejection. We have to go back to the women in our family that taught us, baby, use what you got to get what you want. You know what it is. We have to go back.
Do you desire love but feel, what's the point? Do you find yourself in repeated cycles? Do you long to be his preferred choice, yet continually reduced to an alternative? No Green Beans, a woman's guide to becoming the ultimate 5-course experience, is metaphorically written to depict the woman as the dimensional dining experience she was designed to be, and not a mere side of green beans. This brilliant transformational writing challenges and compels the woman to discover her worth, position her worth, and present her worth to real men who desire, pursue, and capture. Pre-order your signed copy today at www.nogreenbeans.com.
Hey. Oh, hey, great evening, everyone. Come on in. Can you all see me? Wait a minute. Let me move this up. Can you all see me? I'm going to fix my camera. Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this evening. So wait a minute, y'all. I got to fix my. Thank you for your patience. Come on in. I am Atiya Stevenson, author of No Green Beans, a woman's guide to becoming the ultimate 5-course experience. The woman's guide to becoming the ultimate 5-course experience. You can pick that up today at www.nogreenbeans.com. www.nogreenbeans.com. I am a transitional coach. I simply help you get unstuck. And last but certainly not least, I I am your love strategist. I help you prepare for what it is that you desire. I help you get prepared and positioned for what it is that you desire. I need you all to come on in. When I was preparing this, I was over the moon. We're going to have some fun on tonight. Great evening, everyone. Great evening. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I am on 3 platforms this evening. So if I cannot see all of your comments, please accept my apologies. I promise to go back and go ahead and check them out. So again, thank you so much for joining us on this evening. We are going to be talking about can't raise a man. Girl, he's already grown. What you gonna do? You wonder why he acts like a boy, because he wasn't raised right before you. You can't make him love you. If he's not ready, you just can't make him. So ladies, come on in. Kings and priests, you know you are always welcome to join us. So come on in, and come on in. I am not going to belabor the time. We're going ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Hello to everyone. So again, we are talking about tonight, can't raise a man. I know last week we discussed that girl is poison. Never trust the big butt in the smile. Beware, she's scheming. She'll make you think you're dreaming. So that was for kings and priests on last week. I had a lot of women saying, well, what about us? What about us? I am called to serve women. But I certainly do honor, I certainly absolutely honor the man. So let's go ahead and get started. Can't raise a man. He is already grown. What are you going to do? So how we're going to flow tonight is we're actually going to go through the song, and then we're going to have some teaching points thereafter. So number 1, he got older, but never grew. He got older, but never grew. He got older, but never grew. And so what is the purpose of that? For anyone that knows me, yes, I am a relationship coach. I'm a love strategist, but I am totally for the foundation of things. I believe that we have to understand the why behind the what. Must understand the why behind the what. So he got older, but never grew. That is the first thing that K. Michelle said. And what does that mean? What does it mean when a man gets older? So he's older in age, but he never grows. A lot of times it's from either foundational trauma, either the absence or betrayal of a parent, right? Ladies, we helping tonight. I'm going to help you tonight. I'm going to really help you so that you won't be toxic. And so you won't say all men are no good, because that's not true. That is not true. It's some wonderful, wonderful men out here. Some wonderful, wonderful men. Number 2, what is another reason he got older but never grew? His development was stifled. His development was stifled. Another reason is simply poor choices, right? Because it wasn't the fact of he was betrayed by his mother or his father. He had mentors in his life. That was not his story. His mother and his father were present. He had a healthy, solid foundation. Fact of the matter is poor choices. Immaturity, right? So everything is not necessarily because of someone foundational trauma. Some of us, that's not our story, right? It's just not our story. So second verse is, for his life, he can't tell the truth. For his life, he can't tell the truth. What does that mean? He has no idea what integrity is. He has no idea what integrity is. He himself is a lie. He himself is a lie. He has no idea what integrity is. He doesn't know what it is to be a man of integrity. He gets caught and you literally see the girl red-handed. That ain't my girl. I wasn't there. I see you right there. Her picture's right here on your phone. I don't know who that is. That's my boy. Really? So we're talking about a man of integrity. For his life, he can't tell the truth. And a lot of times it's because he himself is living a lie. He himself is living a lie. How to love, he ain't got a clue. How to love, he does not have a clue. How to love, he does not have a clue. He doesn't know who he is, so he can't possibly know who it is that you are. He doesn't know who he is, so he can't know who he is. How to love, he doesn't have a clue. He believes love is sex. He believes love is buying you everything. He believes that love is you being his main squeeze. So it's okay for him to have them all over town. But as long as you the main one, you know what it is. Right? We're talking about can't raise a man. He's already grown. Girl, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's already grown. And then another reason how to love, he has no clue, is because he's emotionally unavailable. His path to love is either clogged or it is contaminated. It's either clogged or it is contaminated. It's either clogged or it is contaminated. Playing games like he'll never lose you. He's playing games like he'll never lose you. Hello, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. He's playing games, girl, like he'll never lose you. And a man that has not matured yet, right, to the place we're talking about, you can't raise a man. So I'm giving you some indicators, ladies, like I gave the men last week. What are some indicators that has not matured yet? He's playing games like he'll never lose you. He has to learn by loss. He's not satisfied until you walk in and the whole house is clear. He's not satisfied until he has absolutely no way of contacting you. He's not satisfied. He hasn't learned until his buddies tell him, yo, she snatched up, right? Playing games like he'll never lose you. He likes to see what it is that he can get away with. We're talking about men that have not matured to the place. He likes to do and see what it is that he can get away with. And I have to stop right here, women, okay? Because I have to let you know that men need boundaries. Men need a standard and they need boundaries. Well, we actually need the standard. We need the standard, but men have to have boundaries because guess what, ladies? If we don't give them boundaries, then we give them permission to do what it is that they desire to do in our lives, right? So if you're not going to say, excuse me, you do not have permission to mishandle me in that way, they're going to do whatever it is that we allow them to do. So playing games like he'll never lose you. They have to have boundaries, ladies. And it's our responsibility to give a man the boundaries that they need. And it's our responsibility to present that to him. We try to talk to him. Can't get through. We try to talk to him. We can't get through. And why is that? Because a man that has not matured, he takes your nagging, right? He takes you trying to talk to him as if you're nagging. Oh man, I don't want to hear this. He takes it as if you're nagging or getting on his nerves, right? But what he doesn't realize, we're talking about a man that is immature. So a man that feels like because you want to talk, oh my God, you always nagging me. Can I just get a rest, please? But what he doesn't understand, what he does not understand is when I stop talking, then my love, that's when you need to worry. It's when I stop talking. And kings and priests, if you're on here tonight, I'm going to give you a nugget. A lot of times I know we as women, we can be overbearing sometimes, but I have to let you know, I'm going to give you a nugget right here. When we are trying to talk to you all, it's because, baby, I'm trying to give you my heart. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here. I need you to tell me what's going on. But the moment we stop talking, it's a wrap. Ladies, put it in the chat if you agree. The moment a woman stops talking, 9 times out of 10, she's done. It's a wrap. Because I've tried to talk and I've tried to talk and you're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. So it's a wrap. And when a woman stops talking, it's a wrap. So you try to talk to him and you can't get through. What is another reason you can't get through? It's because he's emotionally unavailable, right? You try to talk to him, can't get through. So a man that's still immature is not satisfied until you start acting like a park ape. He's not satisfied until you start cursing him out. He's not satisfied until you go outside of who it is that you are. He's not satisfied. Why? Because he's still immature. And here it is for you ladies, right? We have to be protector of our spaces. And I know we're talking about we can't raise a man, what he's already grown, what are you going to do? But you have to understand, if a man is taking you outside of your character, if he is not causing you to operate from your higher self, if he's bringing out the lower self in you. Now, when you were a teenager and you were in your 20s, yeah, you might have slashed somebody's tires and you might have been, stalking somebody, but certainly, lady, not in your 30s and 40s. Come on here. Like, it's just time for us to really evaluate some things. And if a man pulls you out of your queen, if a man pulls you off of your throne, then you may need to reevaluate that. If he's pulling negative energy out of you, you may need to reevaluate that, because you, my love, is a protector of your space. You are a protector of your space. So you try to talk to him, can't get through. Every day he's a different dude. Every day he's a different dude. What does that mean? That means he's inconsistent. He is inconsistent. He invites you over and asks why you're there. What do you mean? You just invited me over. He invites you over and asks, why are you here? He's inconsistent. Every day he's a different dude. He loves you one minute and don't know you the next. He ghosted you the next. No, ladies, no. Every day he's a different dude. These are the signs of a grown boy. And kings and priests, I talk about it all the time. I certainly honor you. I really do. But at the end of the day, we have a responsibility for ourselves. So just like I gave you indicators last week, I'm giving the Gems and Jewels indicators this week. Okay, every day he's a different dude. These are the signs that he's a boy. Ladies, you better run for the hills. I'm just keeping it real. So what does that mean? You have to pay attention to indicators. Ladies, we have to learn how to do assessment. We have to pay attention to indicators and learn how to do assessment. You don't have to rush. Great evening to everyone that's coming in. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Our title for tonight is Can't Raise a Man. Girl, he's already grown. What you gonna do, darling? You wonder why he acts like a boy, because he was not raised right before you. So next she talks about coming home any time of night, expecting you to let it ride. What does that mean? What is the origin of your pain and frustration? If you've been in a relationship, or if you're in one now, right? And you are painful, you're in pain and your frustration. What is the origin of it? Darling, is it you or is it him? Because clearly, you could say, well, I'm just tired of him taking me through this. I'm tired of him treating me like this. Okay, my love. So my $1 million question for you is, why are you allowing it? Great evening and welcome to everyone coming in. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. And thank you for joining us on tonight. So he comes home any time of night expecting you to let it ride. How many tears are you going to cry, girl? Playing games like you never lose you. How many tears are you going to cry? When is enough going to be enough for you? Because going back to boundaries and standards, if you do not create boundaries and present them to a man, you give them permission to do whatever they desire to do. Yeah, that's what you do. When you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You'll fall for anything. So you know that the love has changed. How many times has he called you out of your name? How many times has he disrespected the queen and the royalty and the royal nature that you are? How many times has he shown you? Never mind what he tells you. He'll say sorry just to lure you back in. But how many times have he showed you with his actions that he cares nothing about you, neither does he respect you? What else has to happen, my love? What else has to happen? How many times has he called you out of your name? Again, the moment you do not present a standard, he will give you his. And if his standard is no respect for women across the board, then that's going to be how he treats you. And I need to put a pin in it right here, ladies. And I'm talking to my Gems and Jewels right now, because before he called you out of your name, You had to have seen an indicator of him being either angry or violent, but what happened? You overlooked it. It's hard to believe that a man will just come out unless he switches, unless he's like night and day, and you have some of those as well, right? But most of the time, ladies, it just does not happen. It's little indicators that we fail to pay attention to or overlook. It's the fact that he shows no respect for his mother. It's the fact that he shows no respect for other women. You've heard him curse and belittle his children's mother and other women. But what do you say? Oh, it's okay. He don't treat me like that. Really, my love? It's really? No. I need you to be wise. I need you to do assessment, and I need you to pay attention. I need you to pay attention. How many times have he called you out of your name? You cannot raise a man. He's already grown. What are you going to do? You wonder why he acts like a boy, because he wasn't raised right before you. And we're going to get into that. A lot of times it's mommy issues, it's daddy issues at the foundation before you even came along. So if he was like that before you came along, my love, I have $1 million question for you. Why are you allowing him to make you feel like it's your fault? Why? It's not your fault, sweetheart. Unless it is. Like I told the men last week. I was explaining to the men about trauma in a woman. And then I was basically saying, well, men, it's certainly not your fault if something has happened before you, unless your disrespect to her has caused her a part of trauma, right? So if you are a part of it, then here's some things that you need to do. You ain't never going to change nobody. Ladies, you will never be able to change him if he don't want to. You can't make him. I mean, how many times I've heard it in relationship spaces. Men will tell a woman they are not ready for a relationship. But what is it that we do, y'all? Oh, you wait till I get a hold of him. You wait till I get a hold of him. He ain't never had it like this. That's what we say. Oh, he ain't never had it like this. You just wait till I get a hold. No, sweetheart. He told you he was not ready. Now, he may be ready for how you bring it, because I need to tell you that it's totally possible for a man to be into your experience and not have nothing to do with you, or not desire to have anything else to do with you. So that's for my ladies, my gems and jewels that feel like they can change a man's mind because of who and how they perform in the bedroom. Okay, so you wonder why you're never going to change him. If he's not ready, he's just not ready. He's not ready. It doesn't matter what it is that you bring him. It does not matter. If that was the case, he's been telling you for years he was going to leave his wife, and he's still there. Can't change him. Can't change him. And then we as women, we're frustrated. We're angry. We're upset. We become frustrated. Why? Because we're not taking the time to do proper assessment. We give people too much permission over our lives. Every time he apologizes, you're right back. So after a point, ladies and gentlemen, gems, jewels, kings, and priests, an apology without a change of heart and behavior means absolutely nothing. Means absolutely nothing. Okay, it's going to take more than a miracle to change him. Just let him go. Tell me when you decide to do better with your life. And I can be honest, it's okay to love him. But sweetheart, when are you going to choose you? I mean, I may have feelings for you, but guess what, boo? I choose me. I choose me. Welcome to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are talking about can't raise a man. Girl, he's already grown. What in the world are you going to do? You wonder why he acts like a boy. It's because he wasn't raised right before you. So now, when we talk about doing better with your life, it's okay to love him. You know how many times I've heard women say, but I just love him. At the end of the day, what does love have to do with it? You love him. You love the way he mishandles you. You love the way he puts women in your face. You love the way that women call and embarrass you because they know about your business that he done told them. What is it that you love? And I think that's where we need to go back to the foundation of. right? I may love you. I may have feelings for you, but sweetheart, I choose me. I choose me. I choose me. And I'll get over it. But I cannot allow myself to keep coming in the same situation. Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And here's a pin, Gems and Jewels. You wonder why he hasn't changed because you keep listening to what he says and not what he does. You listen to what he says and not how he moves. You got to watch how a man moves, darling. It doesn't matter what he says. How does he move? How is he moving? That's what's going to be the number one indicator. That's what's going to be the number one indicator. And I have to also say this. A lot of times, I hear women, I done been through hell with him. I done took so much for him. I need y'all to lean in, my gems and jewels. Love should not be defined by how much hell a man takes you through. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Love should not be defined by how much hell a man takes you through. That's toxic and it's dysfunction. Now, if you all are building and y'all have to maneuver through some things together, if it's you and him against the world, that's a different dynamic. But I'm going to be honest, ladies. We be talking, I done went through hell with him. I done been through so much with him. And it's been 15 years and he's doing the same exact thing. Because love is not determined by how much hell you take me through. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What are we talking about tonight? Can't raise a man, girl. He's already grown. What you gonna do? You wonder why he acts like a boy, because he wasn't raised right before you. And maturity, when people grow, when men and women grow, is the things that we used to do, we just don't do anymore. Now, I'm going to be honest. There were lots of things that I did in my 20s that I don't do now because it doesn't serve me. I was immature then. Right? But once you start evolving and once you start going to a different place, it's just certain things women of value won't do. And it's just certain things that they won't allow. And that's for both. That's for both. That is for both. Okay? That's for both. And I'm going to say this again, and I need somebody to either tweet it or post it. Okay? Our definition of love should not be determined by how much hell you take me through. That's not love, darling. It's not. I don't mean process. I'm talking about hell. Okay? I'm talking about you having you somewhere screaming and pulling your hair out, hair falling out. The kids is all over the place. You come on. That is not love. That's toxicity and it's dysfunction. Welcome to everyone still coming in. We are talking about can't raise a man. He's already grown. What are you going to do? Okay, so it's going to take a miracle, okay, to change him. Just let him go. Just let him go. And you have to know that it's okay for me to love you, but guess what? I choose me. I choose me. And when it comes time for me to make a choice between my personal space, between protecting my peace and understanding my value, ladies, because that's the foundation of it, right? I choose me. Put it in the chat. I choose me. I choose me. You can't raise a man. He's already grown. You wonder why he acts like a boy. Girl, you ain't never going to change nobody. And I need to talk to my gems and jewels, right? Because this is something that's embedded in us when we're talking about changing men. And if you ask me, sometimes I have a different perspective of certain things. And so I don't always believe that we as women try to fix men and that we just want and desire projects. What I really believe, thank you, I choose me. Calm after the storm. I love your handle. Great evening to everyone. And thank you for joining. What I really believe is it goes by design. Right. And I'm getting ready to say something. And some women probably would kind of beg to differ, but it's true. Ladies, we were created for the man. We were. Ladies, we were created for the man. We were. We were created for the man. We are their help. We were created to walk alongside of them and to help them fulfill their purpose. That's what the woman was created for the man. And so, since I am help, right? Since we all are help, since we were created for the man, there's something in us, ladies, that will look at a man and be able to see the potential in him, whether he's there or not. It's built in us. It's built in us, right? It's built in us for a man to bring us a vision, and we just literally birth that thing out. It's built in us for him to bring us a blueprint, and we go ahead and build that thing until it's actually standing. That's what's in us. That's what we were created for. So this is why we do have a desire to change a man, because we can look at him and say, oh, I know where he needs help at. I could see this. I know where he needs a little tweak in there, right? That's our nature. However, it has to be leveraged. We have the capacity to see things in a man that's not really obvious to them. We have the capacity to help a man see things in a different perspective. We have the capacity to be a man's calm in an island of calm in a world of chaos. That's who we were created for. We have the capacity to bring something to a man that he has never experienced. That's why until a man matures, like, women are like candy in a candy shop. And I say it all the time. It's not sometimes that they don't love you. He like, I want both of them. I want all of them, because they can't make up their mind. Because the woman's experience brings something different. Each woman's experience brings something different until a man reaches the point and the place of maturity where he says, this is what I need. I need one woman and I'll find what I need. Everything is in her. It takes a man to come to a place of maturity to do that. Why? Because we are their weak place. We are their vulnerable place. It's true. It is a reality. And so since we know that, ladies, you have to learn how to leverage your help. You have to learn how to leverage that. You have to think with head and with heart. You cannot allow your heart to be so all over the place that you don't even think logically at what is this doing to you. You're not eating. You're not sleeping. You're not seeing anybody. He done saw everybody else he wants to, and it's not what he do, it's what you're not going to do. So it's okay for him to do it, right? But you like for him to say, you belong to me. You ain't going nowhere. So ladies, we can't change them, but what it is that we can do is you can do assessment at your ground level, and you can do the things that it needs to do to allow you to show up as a woman of value that has what? Boundaries, and that has a standard, and not only that, presents it as such, okay? Presents it as such. Okay, so if we don't do these things, then it's inevitable that we will be mishandled and taken for granted, because he doesn't understand your purpose and how you function. He doesn't understand who you are in his life, does it? I mean, I've heard it with my own ears. Men have lost some amazing women, and they'll say it. It wasn't her, it was me. And sometimes it's too late. Sometimes it's too late. And I'm not going to deviate, but that's how you know, ladies. I need y'all to lean in for a minute. If a man has messed up on a relationship and someone that he really loves, there's a part of him that's closed off. And how do you know when you come in contact with somebody if you're a rebound or if he's really into you? I can't get into that now, but that's where assessment comes in at. Because you think that you in with a dude, and honey, you're an option. You're one of many. You're not his one and only. You're one of many, because you're a rebound. Let's keep going. What causes men? What causes men to act like boys? Now we're going to shift. As I did last week, I always want to lay a ground foundation and then give you some context, right? I always want to lay a firm foundation and then give you context. Welcome to everyone joining. And we are talking about can't raise a man. He's already grown. What are you going to do? We're talking about indicators that a man is still immature and has some growing to do. So what are some causes? Why do men act like boys? Why is it? What causes men to act like boys? Can I just tell you, he doesn't know how to be a man. He don't know how. He don't know how. Nobody ever taught him. He don't know how. There are compartments that are missing. There are compartments in him that are missing. And men have to be built and they have to be nurtured. And if any time a compartment is missing, they're not going to know what to do in that area. Not going to know what to do in this area. From the time that men were babies, right? You know, we fall or something happens to us and it's just like, oh my God, pick the princess up. But shut up, stop crying. And he's 3 years old and he can't cry. He can't express himself because he was told not to cry. So now he's withholding his emotions. Now he's emotionally unavailable. Get over it. Go figure it out. He don't know, doesn't know how. Okay? Doesn't know how. Another way, what causes men to act like boys is foundational trauma. It's the absence or betrayal of a parent. Either or. It's the absence or betrayal of a parent. Either a parent that was mostly absent, either a parent that was emotionally or physically abusive, a parent that was not loving or nurturing. And sometimes, you know, we can have parents that are present but absent, and we can be parents that are present but absent. We're present. I can buy you everything. But when it comes to me being emotionally present, when it comes to me being hands-on in your life, I don't know how to do that. So he's present but absent. He had a parent that was extremely overbearing, or he probably saw someone being treated badly. He probably saw his mother being treated badly. Okay. What's another reason that causes men to act like boys? His development was stifled. Stifled. That means it was hindered at some point. And what are some things that stunts a man's growth, that stifles a man's growth? Unhealed trauma, lack of affirmation. It could be molestation or rape. We just think it's a lot about men. We just think it's women. But no, men go through sexual abuse also. And I hope y'all didn't just get on there and think we were just going to talk about a song, because y'all know anything about this platform and about who I am. I don't believe that you just wake up and manifest love and snap your fingers. No, because if you don't deal with foundational trauma, either you're going to track the thing that you're unhealed from, or you're going to keep going around in circles. And when we talk about being positioned for love, we're talking about depth, we're talking about width, we're talking about height, we're talking about dimension. We're talking about dimension. And so when a man, ladies, need lack of affirmation, I'll never forget, I have a 9-year-old son. And one of my favorite things to do is to affirm him. And I'll never forget, it was probably about, I think it was last year. I was affirming him. And ever since he was younger, I would tell him who it is that he was. And I realized as he matriculated, now there were some things that his father could give him, but there were only things that I could give him as his mother. And when I nurtured him and when I affirmed him, son, you are a king. I believe that you can do it. You are so brilliant. And I would literally see his little face light up. And when he was having challenges with expressing how he felt, I didn't say, stop that crying. No, son, tell me why you're crying. I had to help him identify his emotion that he was feeling. Now, he was 8 at the time. Imagine a man that's 25, 35, 45 that has missed the affirmation process. They don't know what the heck is going on. Only time they can be intimate is when it's time to have sex. They have no clue what is going on. We're talking about can't raise a man. He's already grown. What in the world are you going to do? We're talking about things that stifle a man's growth. And of course, poor choices. Poor choices. A man has to have a healthy balance. A father builds and solidifies, and a mother nurtures. If he's unnurtured and overbuilt, he's really not going to be able to connect. If he's overnurtured and underbuilt, he's a mama's boy. If he lacks both, then he's in an identity crisis. He has no clue. So if he has no clue about who he is, what in the world do you think he's going to do with you? Hey, y'all. What do you think he's going to do with you? He doesn't know what to do with you. No, he has no clue. So we're going to talk about attached men, over nurtured. So either a man can be too attached. We're talking about two attached men that are over nurtured by their mother. And here's, I know your ladies probably going to be coming through the phone. So what are some ways, what are some areas that a man, you can tell that a man has been over nurtured by his mother, his caretaker, or women in his life? Because the woman, the mother, the woman, whoever was present in his life didn't allow him to be a man. Did everything for him, whether if she was a single parent or she probably found herself overcompensating because the lack thereof that he had. Number two, the man has a sense of entitlement. Why? Because his mother spoiled him. So he thinks everybody's supposed to spoil him. His mother spoiled him without allowing him or requiring him to have any balance or boundaries. So she overcompensated, right? She overgave to him without any balance, without any boundaries, without requiring him to do anything that presents manhood at his level. At his level. I started teaching my son when he was old enough to open the door. This is what you do. You can teach him to be a man on his level, on his level. And then he thinks women are supposed to do for him. He's the Don, and he just feels like women are supposed to do for him. He expects you to do for him with no reciprocity. He wants you to do them, be there for him and do, but he doesn't have to do anything. We're talking about a lot of times men that are over nurtured, and the mother or the woman in their life and the caretaker did not allow them or place a demand on their manhood at whatever level that it was. His mother runs his life, and anything, anything she says goes. And you're the lady, and who you sleeping with? Like, is it your mom? And so she has control over him, right? Control who he dates, and who it's about who she likes, right? And nothing else. And a lot of times it can be an unhealthy soul tie. It can be an unhealthy tie because she's in a place now that she's overstepped her bounds. She's overstepped her boundaries. And I'm gonna put a pin, I'm not gonna deviate, but when we're in relationship, right, and we're starting to get serious, I mean, absolutely, when we're married, it's our responsibility. If there's something that my family, if there's an issue with my family, it's my responsibility to address it with my family as well as it's his or hers. Right? A lot of times things happen because I don't feel like I was protected. You could have defended me. You could have, you just let them talk about me like that. You didn't even stand up for me. Right? So there's different areas. His mother runs his life. He allows you to take care of him because mommy did. And please, I'll be the first to say, I believe in partnership, but I don't believe in a man taking care of a woman. I mean, I don't believe in a woman taking care of a man. I believe in partnership, right? But a man, right, is just, now if the family dynamic is as such, you have some, husbands and wives, and the husband stays home. That's not what I mean. I don't mean in a partnership and you've all agreed that this is the dynamic of our home. I am not speaking of that. I'm talking about, ladies, when you are full blown taking care of a man. You are going to work. He's driving your car with other women in your car. You are solely taking care of him. Your children, your son sees you taking care of this man. That's what it is that I'm referring to. So then he feels superior to women. He feels like he's the prize. And you're blessed to be in my presence. I mean, it's reciprocity, right? we're equally honored to be in each other's presence, right? We're equally honored. Now let's talk about, in closing, let's talk about some indicators of men that are detached. We talked about the ones that are attached. Now let's talk about some indicators from men that are just detached, where something in them is off. And a lot of times it's a lack of that nurture, or the lack of a mother. And I do know that we have, when anyone is without their father, it can cause, some damage, and so can mothers. And when men lack lack a healthy foundation or relationship with their mothers, ladies, it shows up totally different. And we need to know what the indicators are. We definitely need to know what the indicators are. So detached men have trust issues. Right? It doesn't matter how secure you make them feel. Great evening, everyone. Atiyasamala here. Thank you for joining us on tonight. By the way, I'm going to put a pin. If you would like to order my book, No Green Beans, A Woman's Guide to Becoming the Ultimate 5-Course Experience, you could do that at www.nogreenbeans.com. We are talking about tonight, can't raise a man. He's already grown. What in the world are you going to do? So detached men, number one, they have trust issues. They have trust issues. And it's at their core. And a lot of times, ladies, it's nothing that you've done. Basically, subconsciously, my mother left me. You can't possibly love me. My mother betrayed me. I don't trust you. I don't trust no woman. Now, I'll have sex with you, but I really don't trust you. You really won't have all of me. Why? Because at his foundation, that part of him was closed off. That part of him that was supposed to be nurtured by his mother, it was closed off. Now, some men, are fortunate, like women are, of course, you can have a mother figure or a father figure or something of that nature. But here I'm speaking about, someone that had the lack or absence of. Number two, he is emotionally unavailable. Emotionally unavailable. It's like when you talk to him, it's like hitting a brick wall. It's like hitting a brick wall. He can only connect during sex. He clams up when it's time for communication, when it's time for intimate conversations and things of that nature. It's just not in him. He does not have it. So detached men really dishonors the woman. Men that are detached and men that have had a lack or absence of nurturing from a woman, they really dishonor. They don't know how to honor a woman. So they're verbally abusive. They're physically abusive. They're sexually abusive. They're psychologically abusive. Why? Because at my core, I really hate psychological. If I really trace it back, you're really dealing with misogyny, someone that really hates women. And I have your babies, and we talked about this last week. I sleep with you every night. And how could you could beat me black and blue? I said it last week. I've never in all of my days have seen so many women, young women, being killed, not just beat. I mean, these men are killing these young girls, beating them to death, stabbing them, shooting them. And at one time they slept with them, right? So we're talking about when a man is detached, when he's detached, he dishonors, he does not know how to honor the woman. There's a need for constant reassurance and validation on his end. There's a need for constant reassurance and validation. And sometimes, ladies, I don't know if you've ever met a man, or if you've ever been in really close proximity, or if you've been in a relationship with a man and you notice that he's really, really, really clingy. And a lot of times, you'll probably find out if he's been over drinking, or because normally men, it's difficult or challenging for them to just in their sobriety just be really, really clingy. But a part of them, because it reminds them of what they never had. It reminds them of the lack or absence of that nurturing. So they can become very, very clingy. They can be very clingy one minute and then a total brick wall the next. It's the lack or absence of nurturing. The lack or absence of nurturing. They can become jealous, suspicious, and insecure. Nothing you did, just jealous, probably jealous of your family. Lord knows, if there's been a man and he has betrayal from either of his parents, and you have a healthy relationship with your parents, oh, that can be a big issue. That can be a very big issue. If his dynamic of family is chaos and dysfunction, and you come from a family that is nurturing, that's close knit, you talk about everything, that can really, really, really be a trigger for him. And he can actually be jealous of you and your family's relationship. He or she, I'm not just talking about the man right now. I'm talking about the woman as well. So I'm talking about both. If you are dating someone and the family dynamic, this is why if you're going to be dating seriously and dating for purpose and courting for marriage, it's very important that you discuss the family dynamic. Very, very important. Let's just say if they're an only child, they don't know anything about big families. And so a part of them is extrovert, introverts, and you have this whole family and y'all, you having cookouts and, and family reunions and Christmas and Thanksgiving. And they're not used to it. And not only are they not used to it, but it's a trigger for them because it reminds them of what they didn't have. Now, that's not all the time. If healing is present, right? And if a person desires to get the necessary healing, then they will allow you into their space. It doesn't matter how comfortable, uncomfortable it may be, right? They'll allow you into that space so that you can help each other. Because at the end of the day, that's what relationship is about. It's about that partnership. And it's like a wheel, right? It's like a wheel. So there's no right or wrong. It's just different. No right or wrong, is just different. And I think if we even learn to respect each other's perspective, we don't have to agree. What are we arguing for because I don't agree with you? Let's just agree to disagree and keep it moving. What are we doing? Why would you? A person doesn't have to agree with you. We can agree to disagree. That's the beauty of different perspectives, right? It's the beauty of it, but you'll be surprised. I mean, you're getting into arguments, sleeping in other rooms because someone does not agree with you. It's okay, love. It's okay. Let's keep it moving. We're certainly not majoring in minor. We are not majoring in minor. And then another reason, another sign, another indicator is there is fear of abandonment deep down. And this man may never be able to say it. Ladies, he probably won't, but there's a fear of you leaving him. There's a fear because of the abandonment. Or if a man has been left by a woman. Ladies, we got to know what we're doing. We have to know what we're doing. If a man has been left by a woman and he still loved her, we talked about it earlier, there's a part of him that is rejection and abandonment that he has to be healed from, or he doesn't know how to love you. He doesn't know how to receive you unless he's in a place of. And a lot of times, ladies, men they don't even know the places that they're in. They don't know that they're closed off. They don't know that they're emotionally unavailable. They don't know that, I really want to love you, but I can't. They don't know. They don't know that. They don't know that, right? And so another reason, another indicator is it's unequal power balances. At his core, he's insecure. So a part of him is like he has to be superior, right? He has to be superior, but at his core, he's really insecure. So he needs you to overcompensate. I mean, it's okay to give, it's okay to give, affirmation and compliment, but he needs it excessively. He needs it excessively because at his core, there's a level of insecurity. There's a level of insecurity. Number 9, another indicator is that he frequents women. He frequents women. He's looking for a void. There's a void. He cannot be satisfied. His appetite is insatiable. His appetite is insatiable. Now, ladies, we already talked about, we are like candy in a candy shop. Men like, oh my God, I don't know. I have a chapter in my book, and it's called Beware of the Foodie. It's the wonderful world of cuisine. Beware of the foodie. And the wonderful world of cuisine, ladies, is talking about us. The wonderful world of cuisine is like when a man thinks about it. Think about it. Think about the different types of cuisine. You have Asian, you have Thai, you have Chinese, you have African, you have American, you have Italian. You have all of these different types of cuisine. And that's what we as women, that's what we represent. But I tell the women to beware of the foodie. And what is a foodie? A foodie is a food connoisseur. What is a food connoisseur? A food connoisseur is a person that they have one goal and it's their career. It's what it is that they do to do one thing, to try different cuisine. That's their goal. That's their job, is to try out different cuisine. And so I talk to the women even in the book about beware of the foodie, because it doesn't matter how good of a woman you are. A man can literally have you set up for him to have Mediterranean on Tuesday, for him to have Italian on Friday, and then for him to have steak on Sunday. He's a foodie. He's a food connoisseur. So there's nothing you could ever do. It has nothing to do with who you're not. So I need you to stop questioning yourself. That is his appetite. He's a food connoisseur. He's addicted to the difference of a woman. Can't raise a man. He's already grown. Girl, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if a man does not have discipline? What are you going to do if he makes you feel like you're not performing, but in actuality, he's addicted to pornography? Girl, what you going to do? You don't blame yourself. And we as women, we have to because we blame ourselves too much for men and what we allow. And I'm not just coming at the men. We do it both ways. But because this is for the women tonight, men had their chance last night, because this is for Gems and Jewels, because we do it the most. We do it the most. If a man steps out, we start questioning ourselves. What's wrong with us? Either we're doing that or we invite him. We let him have a threesome. You go ahead. You can bring him in. Now, to each is his own. I'm just saying. It's not something that you desire. You're just doing it because it pleases him. I choose me. I choose me. I choose me. So again, is a poor communication. He doesn't know how to respect himself. He has his appetite is insatiable. His appetite for women is insatiable. What is insatiable? It is limitless. It is limitless. Limitless. Welcome to you all still joining in. Welcome to you all joining in. It's limitless. What is another indicator? Poor communication. He doesn't really know how to express himself. Doesn't really know how to express himself. Outside of him have been drinking or using some other type of mood or mind altering substance. Does not know how to be in touch with his feeling, with his raw emotion, because it's too much. Poor communication. Another indicator is a negative self-esteem. Negative self-esteem that gets in the way of relationships. So now he's accusing you of doing everything. You're not doing anything. You ain't doing nothing. But it's what he's doing. It's what he's doing. It's what he is doing. Constantly dating. And this is not always, because I know some men like older women, some women like older men, some men like younger women, some women like younger men, right? So I'm not saying that it's always the case. But sometimes a man that has lacked the foundational nurturing of either his mother or a woman that has been a caretaker, they normally date much older than them, because they're looking for a place of comfort, safety, and affirmation that they lacked. Right? They're still looking for that. Okay. So there we have it. We have indicators. You can't raise a man. Girl, he's already grown. What are you going to do? You wonder why he acts like a boy, because he wasn't raised right before you. So I've given you some indicators. I've also given you some reasons as to why the man is like this, because just like I gave the men on last week, because I really believe that if two people are willing, it does take both. If two people are willing to work, then you can make it through anything. There's power in partnership. There's power in connection, but it has to take two people. And if you're pulling the majority of the load, pretty soon you're going to get tired, right? Pretty soon you're going to get tired. Pretty soon it's going to be overwhelming, because guess what, boo? You're not carrying your weight. If both of us carry our weight, baby, this thing can roll, right? but everybody needs to carry their weight. So ladies, I'm giving that to you, certainly not to bash the man. And I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. I honor the man. You will never hear me say anything that will demean a man, that will dishonor a man. They are our kings and our priests in the earth. I honor men, right? I honor men. I'm called to serve women and also men as well. I had a gentleman inbox me the other day and he said, thank you for being our voice. Because sometimes, and I talked about toxic women last week, because sometimes we'll try and shut down the voice of a man because women, sometimes we can be extremely manipulative. We know what we're doing. I'm not getting back into that. You can go back and watch the live. That girl is poison. Never trust the big button to smile. That was just last week. But women, sometimes we know what it is that we're doing. And that same energy, right? That same energy that we use for that, use it to build the man. The same energy you could use to being manipulative, to being conniving, to being seducing, to using him. Use it to build. Use your influence that you have over the man. Use it to build him, right? Use it to build him. So, just like I ended last week with the men, I'm ending it with a challenge for the ladies. So we talked about can't raise a man. He's already grown. What are you going to do? But I have challenges for you ladies, just like I gave men challenges, because I gave men the challenges. We talked about traits of toxic women, but I gave the man a challenge. And my challenge to the men was, if any of the trauma that we carry as women is directly as a contribution of yourself, then you're part of the problem. Don't tell me I'm toxic and you keep doing this, right? So there's a part that we all have to play if we're going to get the best out of relationship. So ladies, here's my challenge before we rock out tonight. Here is my challenge for the ladies. Ladies, I need you to do assessment. I need you to do assessment. Make sure that you are operating from a place of wholeness. Because when you operate from a place of wholeness, then your lens is different. You see through a different lens. You see through a different lens. So number one, I need you to make sure that you are whole. Number two, ladies, gems and jewels, I need you all to lean in. I need you to understand your worth. And I need you to present your worth to the man. I need you to understand your worth, and then I need you to present that to the man. I need you, my challenge for you, gems and jewels, is to discover the best in you to present the best of you. Now, you may be saying, I know, I do that. I'm good peeps. And that could be true. So another thing, my love, and if that is the case, if you know you're a good woman, but you keep coming up short, then you need to do assessment and learn how to leverage who you are, because you give too much too soon. And it's a proven fact that you give yourself to a man without him proving that he has the capacity to handle who you are. That's your fault. That's not his. There's some things you need to do different. If you know that you're a good woman and you keep coming up short, you keep attracting toxic men. You keep attracting men that keep dropping you. You keep attracting men that does not know who you are. My challenge for you is to do some assessment and make sure you allow the man to prove himself. He has to prove himself. And ladies, and kings and priests, that's for you as well. Make sure she proves herself. And proving herself is not how good she is in bed. Like, come on here. I'm going to need y'all to rise up. Because at the end of the day, all these daggone diseases and all this mess going on today. Listen, it's time for us to wake up. Like, we just go through toxicity and we just go through dysfunction and we just go through all of this for sex. For something that is toxic, you know that they're toxic for you, but it's good. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to need y'all to grow up. I'm so serious. Welcome. Greetings, everyone. Welcome. So again, ladies, if you know that you are coming up short, okay, what I need you to do is allow men to prove themselves before you just go in eyes wide shut. Make sure that a man has proven to you that he has the capacity to handle who it is that you are. And how do you do that? That takes time. That certainly doesn't happen overnight. That certainly doesn't happen. No, that takes a course of time. And that's what my book is talking about, the dimensional woman. See, ladies, we have dimensions in us. We are dimensional. So don't you dare allow a man to treat you like a buffet. Let him take what he wants and leave the best parts of you. I have a chapter in my book and it's called what type of experience are you? Are you a drive-through? You're open all times of the night when everything else is closed, and he's only coming to you because what he really wants is not available because she's not having it. But you, my love, you're open all times of the night. He can just drive through, get what he wants, and keep it moving. Because you have not presented a boundary and you have not presented a standard. What type of experience are you? Are you a buffet? You just let a man come in, you spread out all over the place, and you let him take what he wants from you and leave the rest. You're picked over. Are you a cafe? The only types of relationships you get is something light, entanglement, situationships. Oh, I mess with him. What is that? And anything that does not have purpose cannot be defined. If it has purpose, it should be able to be defined. If you have to look up and you're dating someone or messing with someone and you have to ask them, where is this going? My darling, I have to tell you, anything purposeful has a definition to it. So clearly you're not in your 30s and 40s. You're talking about you messing with somebody. Unless that's your thing, unless that's what you want. Order the book today, www.nogreenbeans.com. So another challenge, ladies, that I have for you. Okay, so after you understand your worth, you present that worth to a man. You discover the best in you, my love, to present the best of you. Do not use or dishonor a man for your own selfish gain. Women of value don't do that. Women of value understand that it's better to give than to receive. And you understand, because if you understand, if you do awareness, if you do assessment, then you understand and you have permission of who comes into your space or not. Yeah, you have that say, who comes into your space or not. So my challenge for you ladies is, do not use a man for your own selfish gain. How shallow is that, using a man for his money? Go make your own money. Who does that? Women of value does not do that. Women of value does not do that. A woman of value, a woman that understands who it is that she is not using a man for what he can do for her. And that's the premise of it. Women of value do not do that. So my challenge for you, gems and jewels, is do not use a man for your own selfish gain, and do not dishonor a man. Before you dishonor a man, walk away, because you have to remember, if you're a queen, you're seated, and you don't allow anyone to unseat you. Again, I'll repeat what I said earlier. If you come into my space and I feel like you making me get out of who it is that I am, that's an indicator, boo, we have to kiss and say goodbye. Because why? I value my space. I value my peace. And if you value it, you have to be a protector of it. You have to be a protector of it. So my challenge for you ladies is, do not use or dishonor the man. Another challenge I have for you is create boundaries and standards if you have not. Create boundaries and standards if you have not. If you're tired of men just running over you, if you're tired of just being a booty call, if you're tired of just being a high-class escort service, if you're tired of that, then create some boundaries and some standards and present them. And present them. Create boundaries and standards and then present them. And do not adjust. Now, if they're realistic, so when we say standards, I know, we live in this time where, we talk about standard and high value, and make sure that your standard is realistic. Okay. Make sure your standard has to do with your value. There you go. Make sure it has to do with your value. Okay. And some examples of that is my standard, my boundaries. I don't necessarily care to deal with a man that desires multiple women. Right? Another one would be, I'm not going to deal with an angry or a violent man. Right? So you have to create standards and boundaries, and then do not go beneath them. Don't go beneath them. And then last but certainly not least, make sure, ladies, I'd like for you to make a commitment to use your influence in a way that will only help the man and not hinder him. I'm going to say it again before I go. I'm going to leave this last one with you. My gems and my jewels, as women of value, right? We talk about, I hear it a lot in the relationship space. What is high value? And so many people have minimized value to mean tangible success. But value comes from the inside. Value comes from the inside. And I'm not minimizing having tangible items, but I'm not maximizing it either. Your value, who you are, is costly, but it's priceless. There is no price tag to you, my love. There is no price tag to you. So my challenge for you is to use your influence in a way that it helps the man and does not hinder him. Okay? There it is. I'm done. Thank you all for joining us on tonight. Thank you for joining us on tonight. I need you to share. I need you to tag and share. I need you to tag and share on tonight. If you want a topic, if you have a topic that you would like to hear us discuss, go ahead and shoot me an inbox and we will certainly discuss it. Again, if you want to order your copy of No Green Beans, A Woman's Guide to Becoming the Ultimate 5-Course Experience, people, women, and men are loving it all over. Amazing reviews. You do not want to miss it. It is not a book. It is a transformational tool. Gems and jewels. I lay it out for you. I help you tap into the 5-course dimension experience that you were created to be. I can guarantee you by the time you read this book, you will no longer be comfortable with being a side chick. After you read this book, you will no longer be comfortable than just having sex with a man. You will not be comfortable with it because you understand your value, your non-sexual value to the man. Right? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me again. Atiyasamala here, your author, speaker, coach, and don't forget your love strategist. I help women discover their worth, position their worth, and present their worth to who? To real men who desire, pursue, and capture. Until next time, mwah, love you all. Peace. Wait a minute. Okay, end.